Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes with the Family. I'm Fukui Drew, and let us take a moment to honor the passing of a dear friend to generations of Japanese Gen Xers and Millennials, the Japanese TV show Waratte Iitomo. It has been 10 years since this show went off the air, but it was without a doubt one of the most influential in Japanese history. For 32 years, it dominated the daytime variety scene. Hosted by Tamori, with his iconic sunglasses and signature gags, it was full of games, celebrities, and charm. One popular part of the show was the Tamolympics, which pitted famous guests against one another with various games and activities. The concept became the premise of this game. Now, the show may be long gone, but its legacy lives on in this obscure Super Famicom title from 1994. All in all, I was pleasantly surprised with this title. I feel that the game is generally underappreciated and deserves a more fair-handed examination from the gaming community. While the party game genre really exploded during the N64 days, Waratte Iitomo Tamolympics proves that a fun party game on the Super Famicom was a possibility. The game features 19 mini-games, as well as a few bonus slot machine challenges, of which I would say 15 are consistently fun, a ratio that beats many current generation party games. The games are easy enough to pick up and play, many lasting only a minute, but challenging enough to encourage you to practice and improve. The game's presentation is clean. I sort of expect all TV show adaptations to be low-quality cash grabs, but I can tell you a lot of thought and care went into crafting this product. Initially I was scared. The startup screen and menu select were lacking, and ugly blue dialogue boxes would pop up from time to time. I honestly thought my game had crashed. But the rest of the title is top-notch, with some cute leaderboards, flashy transitions in keeping with the show's actual color scheme, and low-dithered stills of Tamori himself. Even those ugly instructional dialogue boxes can be disabled. The minigames are all well-crafted, with vibrant, well-animated backgrounds that look and feel like the busy TV show sets that are famous here in Japan. Even the games I don't like have good graphics, straightforward interfaces, and responsive controls. Let me just run through a couple of the games real quick to give you a general feel for what is available. Club Paruma. This is a simple button masher. You press left and right very quickly to mix a couple drinks. Strong computer opponents beat me handedly, mostly because of the limitations of the controller I was using. Juni Bunkatsu de Pon is a simple puzzle game, like those old sliding puzzles we used to have as kids. It's fun, but just remember how the puzzle was supposed to look. Telephone Shocking is the most recognizable corner of the original TV show. It was basically just an interview with famous people, but when it concluded, Tamori would call the next day's guest live on the air. The phone calls were candid moments with pop stars and actors and made the mostly female audience scream with excitement. For this minigame, they basically turned it into a memory game, with 18 celebrity portraits arranged at the bottom of the screen. They flash portraits at the top, and you must remember the order in which they appeared, much like those old Simon games that we used to have. It's not very difficult, but it does bring up an interesting strategy that comes into play for many of the games. While the speed-based minigames in this title appear to be races with the other players, that is not the case. These games will award all players the same number of points as long as they fulfill all of the objectives within the time limit. This means that going fast might not be the best strategy, as the second player can watch your actions and copy your answers, something you can do yourself against a computer. This opens up new strategies in which you play the clock in an effort to sabotage the other player. As far as the Telephone Shocking game is concerned, I found it quite easy. This was partly due to the fact that I could recognize some of the celebrity portraits they show. There was Akiko Wada, a famous singer, Tetsuko Kuroyanagi, a famous TV host, Sanma, another popular comedian, and a few others. Is that Beat Takeshi? Tamori Tejina Kyoshitsu is a game where you have to copy the magic tricks that Tamori performs. It's pretty fun once you get the hang of it. Occasionally you will fall behind and a queue of backed up button presses can overwhelm you. Saxophone Saiko is my least favorite game of the title. You have to perform a musical piece by remembering the notes that are only given to you audibly. As a tone-deaf boy from Indiana, this was not my game. There are two ways to play through these minigames. One is called Rehearsal Mode. This mode lets you quickly hop into any game and practice it as often as you want. The only downside is that after every game, you have to sit through a post-game point allocation screen that cannot be skipped. The other mode sees you playing through a full year of the games as a guest on the popular TV show. You can choose your character, profession, and input your name. You will play 4 games through 4 seasons for a total of 16 games. The winner will be the player with the most points after this time. You can play against 1, 2, or 3 opponents, but wait! Most games are only 2-player games, so if you choose 3 or 4 opponents, the games will be divided into 2 games of 2 people. and you'll be forced to watch games you cannot participate in. The games are decided by a slot machine you control, but sadly, it won't always be kind to you. As a score, I'd rate this game a 15 out of 20, which is the number of minigames I thoroughly enjoyed. The copy I bought includes the box with old retail stickers still attached. The box's gold color is still vibrant, but there is noticeable damage. The manual is intact but warped. I bought it for 3,500 yen, but feel it could have been a little cheaper. Many box copies can be found closer to 2,000 yen. The cartridge itself is in perfect condition, which motivated the purchase. Anyway, I'm Fukui Drew, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.